One of the most common questions I get from learners is this: how can I start thinking in English without translating from my first language? And I totally get that question because honestly, that's where most English learners get stuck. You can know grammar, you can memorize vocabulary, you can even speak in class or text people online. But when you're alone, when you are just walking or thinking or making decisions, your thoughts still happen in your first language. And then you translate. And that's where the real fluency dies. It's like your brain has this middleman sitting there saying, wait, let me check with the translation department first. And trust me, I've been there too. And I can tell you, that habit of translating everything in your head, it's not because you are bad at English. It's because your brain is efficient. It's doing what it has always done, like thinking in your first language first. So today, let's change that. Let's talk about how to live in English, not just study it. I'll walk you through 10 simple habits that you can build into your everyday life. Habits that will gently push your mind to think, plan, decide, and even argue in English. And of course, naturally. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to sit and memorize anything. These are things you can do while brushing your teeth, cooking, walking, or scrolling your phone. They're small, but when you do them consistently, they completely change how your brain works. Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ohid. I'm a non-native speaker and I help people speak clear and confident English. Ready? Let's begin. The first habit, and this one's super simple, is to narrate your actions in English. Now, I know that sounds funny. You might be thinking, you mean talk to yourself? Exactly. Talk to yourself. You already do it. You just don't do it in English. You wake up and your mind says, where's my phone? That's your inner narrator. So why not let that narrator speak English instead? You can say things like, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm late again, I need to make coffee before I start working, etc. See, you are already describing what's happening. You just need to switch the language. At first, it feels a little weird. You might even feel shy doing it. But here's the secret. Your brain learns the best through repetition in context. So if you use English while doing real life actions, it sticks faster. And it's not about sounding perfect. It's about building a mental connection between English and your daily life. I tell my students, pretend you are the narrator of your own documentary. Just describe life as it happens. I'm washing my dishes. I really don't want to do this, but okay. Simple, honest, and in English. Now, the second habit. Ask yourself questions in English. Throughout your day, you make dozens of small decisions, right? What should I eat? Where did I put my wallet? Should I call this person now or later? Every time that thought comes up, ask it in English. What should I eat today? Where are my keys? Do I have time to watch another episode? And you should remember, you don't need to answer perfectly. Just ask. Because every time you do that, your brain has to think in English, not translate, but actually think. And the more you do it, the faster your brain will skip the translation step altogether. Habit number 3, and this one's actually quite fun. Argue with yourself in English. Yeah, I said argue. You do it anyway. We all do. You know that little debate you have with yourself? Like, should I go out or stay home? Should I study or take nap? That's your brain thinking. So do it in English. Because when you're debating, you're using real reasoning. You are not just making sentences. You are expressing opinions, emotions, logic, everything language is meant for. It might sound like this. I should study now, but I'm tired. Yeah, but if I finish it now, I'll have the evening free. That's English thought in motion. And no textbook can teach that. Only practice can. So keep practicing. Habit number 4. Describe what you see around you. This is one of the easiest ways to make English a part of your reality. Whenever you are out for a walk or sitting in a cafe, just look around and quietly describe what you see. The weather looks nice today. There's a kid eating the ice cream. That person looks like they're in a hurry. Don't overthink grammar. Don't stop yourself because you are not sure whether it's is or are grammatically. The point is to keep English voice alive in your head. And something really cool happens right after a few weeks. You will start doing it without even realizing it. Your mind will automatically label things in English. Habit number 5. Replay your conversations from yesterday, but in English. Think about what you talked about with your friends, your family, your coworkers yesterday. Now imagine, how would you say that in English? Let's say yesterday you were complaining about traffic. You can replay it like this. Yesterday, the traffic was insane. I waited for almost an hour. Or maybe you had a funny moment at work. How would I tell that story in English? Ask yourself. You see, this exercise makes your brain build connections between your native thoughts and their English versions. And you'll also notice gaps, like words you don't know yet. But that's not a problem. That's your roadmap, because it shows you what to learn right next. Habit 6. Imagine explaining your culture, your city, your life in English. This one's powerful. Imagine someone from another country asked, "What's your favorite holiday like?" Or, "What's something unique about your city?" How would you explain it in English? Think about the details, how it looks, how it smells, and what people do, etc. You might say, "We celebrate with music and food, people visit their relatives and share gifts with each other." You're not just practicing language, you're practicing storytelling, okay? And storytelling is how you make language come alive. Plus, it's fun, right? You start seeing your own world through new words. That's when English stops feeling like a subject and it starts feeling like part of your identity. Habit 7. Plan your day in English. When you're thinking about tomorrow or even your next hour, do it in English. Okay, after lunch, I'll read a bit. Tomorrow morning, I have to finish that project. You don't have to write it down, although journaling helps a lot. Just mentally plan in English. Because when you plan your future in a language, that language becomes the tool for your decision making. And once English becomes your planning language, it naturally becomes your thinking language. Habit 8. When you forget a word, describe it in English instead of switching languages. Look, we all forget words, even native speakers. The difference is native speakers stay in the language and you switch. So instead of switching to your first language when you forget a word, just describe the thing. Let's say you forgot the word scissors, okay? So you could say, "It's a thing you use to cut paper." What's the word? Just like this. All right. You're training your mind this way to solve problems in English. And that's exactly how fluency develops, not from perfection, but from persistence. Habit number 9, tell yourself stories in English. They don't have to be serious. You can make up tiny stories about your day or about anything that crosses your mind. Like, today I almost missed my bus because I couldn't find my shoes. Or if I were a detective, I'd probably lose all my clues. It's not about being creative or funny also. It's about creating a flow. When you tell stories, your sentences connect naturally. And that's when speaking rhythm improves. And finally, habit 10. Reflect in English before bed every day. When the day ends, don't just scroll your phone. Take a minute and think in English. Like, what did I do well today? What could I improve? What made me happy? What made me sad? Something like that. This one is deeply powerful because reflection language is emotional language. You are not just using English to describe the world anymore. You're using it to describe yourself. And that's when it becomes truly part of you. And I promise, if you do this consistently, even for a few minutes a day, for some time, like a month or so, something magical happens. You start dreaming in English. And when that happens, you know your brain has switched gears. You see, thinking in English isn't about being perfect. It's not about grammar or accent or vocabulary lists. It's about living in English. It's about your lifestyle. It's really a lifestyle, okay? The more you let English become the voice in your head, the faster fluency comes. And here's the best part. You don't need to study more hours. You just need to add English to your hours you already live. Like while you cook, walk, get ready, or wind down, let English tag along. Talk to yourself, describe things, ask questions, replay moments, and slowly the translation layer disappears. You start thinking directly in English. It feels lighter, smoother, and more natural. And trust me, that's when everything changes. Speaking becomes effortless, understanding becomes instant, and confidence, it just follows. So start with 1 or 2 habits from today. Maybe narrate your actions, maybe reflect before bed. Small steps, that's all it takes. And if this video helped you, give it a like, share it with friends who is trying to improve their English, and subscribe. Because in the next video, I'm going to come with something more interesting and helpful that's going to help you start thinking in English and sound even more natural and confident. So stick around. And remember, fluency isn't about knowing more. It's about living the language. So live it a little every day. I'll see you in the next video.